Alright, I just want to record this video to let you know that enough is enough. You are the creator and that's it. There's nothing else to discuss. There's nothing else to talk about. You are the creator and that's it. What else is there to talk about? Spirituality is a concept that man has created. You simply are the creator. I'm going to dispel the myth of spirituality in this video. I'm going to remind you that you are the creator and there's nothing else you need to learn. There's nothing else you need to seek, and that's just simply the case because that's just what it is and it's the truth of the situation. If you're new to this channel, what I want you to do is I want you to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Also, all the details to work with me are going to be down below. Now, what I want to start out this video with is to remind you, is a reminder, right? It's a remembrance to stop letting your mind control you. I'll be honest, what I used to do is I used to kind of like allow my mind to take me where it wants to go me. So my mind said like, don't do this, don't do that. I'd be like, oh, my higher self is guiding me. I'm not going to do that. But you see, the mind is designed to protect you. And if your mind says, don't do this, and you don't do it because, and then it drops your frequency, what are you really doing there? What you're doing is you're being manipulated by your own mind. You're allowing your own mind to literally manipulate you. And I think that this is absolutely ridiculous. No longer should you allow your mind to manipulate you. No longer should you listen to what your mind says for you to do or not to do. If your mind says, don't go in this direction, you know what you do? You do the opposite. You face your fear. You slay the fear right in the eyes. When my mind says, don't do this, you know what I do? I go exactly in that direction. Why do I do that now? As opposed to who I used to be, where I would let my mind control me. Because here's the thing. I have clear intentions on who I want to be. I know the type of person that I am. I know who I've defined myself as. I know who I'm becoming. I know who I am. So if my mind says, don't do this, that's not me using my mind. That's my mind using me. I do not allow my mind to use me. I use my mind. I use my mind. The mind is a tool. Now, if you let your mind use you, what you've effectively done is you've allowed your own self to be manipulated by your own mind. You're letting your own mind manipulate you and control you. So what I'm here to remind you of is that you should stop letting your mind control you. This is probably a reflection of what you're already realizing in your own life. If it's not, then I'm just here to tell you the truth. The truth is that you need to stop allowing your mind to control you. Enough is enough. How much longer are you going to allow your mind to pull you in this direction that you know is not even where you want to go? You know, you are your higher self. You are the creator. So when you're letting your mind guide you where it wants to go, what you've effectively done is you've given away your power to your own mind. You could call it the unconscious mind. You could call it the subconscious mind. And here's the thing is that your subconscious and unconscious mind controls about 95%, if not more, of your life. So you're giving away all your power to your own mind, which is just other reflections of you. And I know how that sounds. It's like, Francis, how are you an authority figure to talk about this? How do you know that what you're saying is the truth? Well, because I only speak from direct experience. I'm just simply telling you what I've learned in my own experience, and I believe that this is the truth. The truth is that we are in control of our minds. And if you don't allow yourself to be controlled, if you don't allow your own self to control your own mind, what's going to happen is that you're going to be running in circles for the rest of your life until you decide that you're the creator of your reality, that you're the creator. When are you going to decide that you're the creator again? When are you going to allow that to happen? Are you just going to keep letting your mind pull you in all these directions that you know you don't want to go in? How much longer? When do you decide your identity? When do you decide who you are? Why is it that we've allowed our minds to define who we are? And who are we? We are the ones that use the mind, no? Why is the mind, what happened in consciousness where we've allowed the mind to use us? Like, what happened there? What happened there? Well, I believe that at some point in consciousness, maybe like in a past life or something, and of course I don't know for sure, we've given away our power so much to our own minds that something happened and the universe had to like reset itself. And then what happened is that we forgot everything. We forgot who we are. And that was completely a choice, even though we didn't take responsibility for that. But now we're at a point in consciousness again, and maybe you could call it the golden age, maybe you could call it the new earth or whatever, where we've remembered that we're in control of our minds. We've awoken out of the shadow, out of the darkness. We're back into the light. So the darkness has been running everything for who knows how long. There's no time, doesn't exist, right? So the darkness has been running everything for who knows how long. Now the key is to realize in this moment now that the moment now is where all the power lies. And so I felt really called and inspired to record this video to let you know, like, enough is enough. And of course, I'm speaking to my past self. I hope that's obvious. I hope that's obvious. Like, oh, he's just speaking about himself. Of course I am. Who else am I talking to here? I'm talking to myself here. But I'm just saying this with the intentions that it will give you something as well. So what I'm here to remind you of is that we are in control of our reality. We are in control of our reality. So what I also want to share with you as well in this video is that actually lack and poverty consciousness is not real. It's not real. Unless you believe it is, of course. But I don't even want to say unless you believe it is, of course, because that in of itself feeds energy to a reality that is an illusion. And of course, everything is an illusion. But the belief that lack and poverty can exist in of itself does not exist. There exists a reality where there is a belief system that lack and poverty can exist. That exists. But the actual reality of some kind of lack or poverty or lack of something or some kind of nothingness or some kind of nothing void, that's not real. It's not real. All that can happen is the fear of that, and then you manifest all sorts of dysfunctions in your life that of course are grounded upon a belief system that never existed. That's my reality. That's my reality. So the key is to remember that lack and poverty consciousness is not real. Unless you believe it is, but I don't even want to say that because like that in of itself is not true. That's not true. It's not actually true. It's not real. So this is the remembrance that we need to come to. That lack doesn't exist. Poverty consciousness doesn't. If this doesn't make sense, I'm going to say it again. Think about it like this. The only thing that exists, the closest thing to lack that could ever possibly exist is a belief system that you have where you believe that lack can exist, and you'll manifest the closest thing possible to that, which is just you running around frantic. Oh my gosh, what if lack doesn't exist? Something might not exist. Something's lacking. Something's like, oh my god, something's lacking, something's lacking, something's lacking. That exists. You want to go manifest that because of the belief system, or you think that nothing might be real, or that some negative void might be real. No, all that exists is denser and denser and denser and denser states of consciousness that where you're more scared of lack, and then it builds up and it builds up and it builds up, and then it gets even more scary and more scary and more scary, and you're really scared of something not existing, and then of course that non-existence that you're scared of, you never get to that. You just become more and more scared and more and more scared and more in fear. And then that becomes your reality, a reality based upon the belief system that something can be lacking when of course there's nothing lacking. Lack doesn't exist. So think about it. If that's true, if what I'm telling you is true, enough is enough. How much longer are you going to allow your own mind to define you when you are the creator of your reality and you can use your mind versus your mind using you? I believe everything is a tool. I believe nothing is good or bad. And simply we can use the mind as a tool for the tool that it's designed to be. That's what I believe. What else is the alternative? What else? To live into that reality I just described, the best way I can possibly describe it is to just fall into more and more fear, oh my gosh, oh, something's gonna lack, fear, and then you watch the news, and then you call your friends and they confirm it for you, and then before you know it, you've lost everything and you don't have any more money, and your relationships are, well, come on. Seriously? Come on. I'm laughing because it's not funny. This is a serious problem. It's not funny. When you're in that state of consciousness, it's not funny, right? But when you step out of it, it's like, come on, it's such a joke. It's not real. When you have somebody that's at a more advanced or higher level of consciousness, even though things are good or bad, but they've just transcended that fear of lack, it's comical. It's comical, the fear of lack. It's not real. It's just not real. You always have what you need. Everything that you have it. And if you believe that it is the case, it is the case. So I want to conclude this video with the reminder. And know how the way that I said that might trigger some people, but what comes through me in these videos comes through for a reason. There's a reason why I say it that way. I don't know why. I mean, I guess I do know why, but it's channeling through me for a particular reason, right? It's meant to trigger somebody or uplift somebody. What I'm saying will either very much resonate with somebody, or it'll trigger them so much that they'll block me and they won't want to be in my field. And that's good for me personally, because I don't want anybody that doesn't resonate with what I'm saying. The only people that I want in my field of consciousness are people that understand and resonate with what I'm saying. If they don't, then peace out. That's a fate that you've done me and them. They've done me a favor and they've done both of us a favor. That's a win-win situation. So, what I'm saying is can be very magnetic or it can be very polarizing. And that's the type of identity that I've chosen to embody for myself. Anyways, what I want to conclude this video is the reminder, the reminder that you need to choose your thoughts and define yourself. Define who you are. Stop letting your mind pull you. Take a step back, ground yourself in this present moment, choose your thoughts. Choose your thoughts. Define who you are. And then live in alignment with those thoughts. If you're scared to do that, slay the fear in the eyes. Prove it wrong. I can understand why it's scary not to do this. When you've been living in some fear-based reality where you're letting your mind control you for so long, and there's so much negative momentum in that downward spiral, it can be very scary to take this advice. I understand. But if you just face the fear, if you face the fear and you choose your mind, you choose your thoughts, and you live in alignment with those thoughts, and then on the way to that reality where you're living in alignment with that thought that you chose, maybe some thought comes up and says, don't go in that direction. If you ignore that and you go in alignment with what you know is in alignment with that decision that you made for yourself, regardless of what your mind told you not to do, when you know that going in that direction is in alignment anyways, if that makes any sense. If you prove that other contradicting thought wrong that says, don't do this, oh my gosh, fear, you need to stay safe, right? Trying to protect you, but it's protecting you from nothing. You're not in the woods anymore. You're not, and you just don't need to be afraid of bears killing you. You don't need to, fear is it's redundant at this point in consciousness. If you just go against that thought and you live in alignment with the thoughts that you chose for yourself anyways, and you prove it wrong, you'll start to build trust within yourself. And that's when the real power starts to come back, because you realize that the thoughts saying, don't do this, it's you're letting your own mind manipulate you. You have to go on the other side of that thought. And it can be, and when I say other side, it's like, oh my gosh, it can cause so much fear. The other side, what is the other side? What's the other side? Am I going to die? Something going to happen? Oh, no. What's going to happen is that you're going to ignore it. You're going to go in the direction anyways, and nothing bad is going to happen. Nothing. Everything that you thought was going to happen will not happen. In fact, the opposite. And you'll manifest everything that you wanted that is in alignment with the decision that you made for yourself. That's what's going to happen. And I'm here to let you know how did I figure this out? By being a pioneer and ignoring the thoughts that said don't do this and realizing for myself nothing happened. Nothing bad happened. But if you believe in the fear, something bad may happen to you. And I'm not saying that to put fear into you. I'm saying that fear-based timelines are, of course, real if you let the fear control you, if you believe in the fear. If you believe in the fear, of course, you might manifest of course, you may manifest negative situations. Of course, it's obvious. From where I'm standing over here, it's quite obvious. Not so obvious when you're entangled in the fear and you think the fear is real. Right? When you're entangled in the fear, of course, it can seem very real, but it's not. It's an illusion. And of course, everything is an illusion, but you may as well create the reality you want within this matrix and within this simulation and this illusion, right? If everything is an illusion, why not just manifest what you want? Why not? If everything is an illusion, why not play? Why not be an actor in your own movie? Why not be the main character of your own movie? Why not define who you are and just be who you are? You don't want to do that? Cool. Nobody's going to stop you. But what's going to happen is that you're going to be in a very, very, let's just say at the very least, because I don't want to be too vulgar here, you're going to be in an undesired reality. Let's just say that. But it can get a lot worse than that. But I won't give details for the purposes of keeping this video practical and not to generate any fear in anybody. And not to feed any reality that is not of alignment with what I want or what you want. What a waste of time. So, what I want to share with you is to, when you do this, when you choose the thoughts that you want to go towards, and you choose your thoughts and you define yourself, what I want to remind you of is to leave everything else behind. Just leave it all behind. Just let it be the past. For God's sake, just enough is enough. Leave it behind. That reality will always exist in that reality. That lack and poverty consciousness reality where the reality that exists, that's grounded in the belief system that lack can exist, which is very dense and negative, and you manifest all sorts of problems and negative situations, and your relationships fall apart, and your money goes downhill, and then everything in your life that you ever wanted doesn't manifest, and it seems like your life is on pause, and it seems like nothing is moving forward. That reality will always exist. But just let that reality be that reality. Let it go. If you want to choose, look, what the worst case scenario, what the advice that I'm sharing with you is you go back to a fear-based reality. That's the worst case. Okay. If you want it, it'll always be waiting for you. No problem. But just try this. Try this. Try to be a new person. Try to ignore the fear. Try to define her. Does it feel a little bit fake? Just test it, for God's sake. The worst case scenario, which is you think it's going to be all this terrible stuff. No, you've already experienced the worst case scenario. You've already experienced the worst case scenario. It already happened to you. You already experienced the worst case scenario. So let the past be the past and be who you are. And with that, I conclude this video. As always, enjoy the rest of your day. All the just work with me are going to be down below. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.